discuss some of the top headlines going on in the world of football. We start off with the reports coming out with it's a sad situation. Frenkie de Jong, he will not be available for the Dutch national team, the Netherlands national team at this European Championship. He was kind of in a race to get ready for these European Championships, and yeah, it's just not going to work. His ankle injury is going to keep him out. Very disappointing, and it's so heartbreaking when it comes to these major international tournaments, missing them with injuries because of the fact that they just don't come around often. And I couldn't be in this, in the situation of the players in those situations. It's just really just a heartbreaking thing. And I don't know, if I was a player, and then I had a European Championship or a World Cup coming up, and I was in the last month or two in my club season, I'd really, really be on my tippy toes, because that would just be a devastating news to miss out on an international tournament because of an injury. It'd just be really, really devastating on a whole different level. So yeah. I don't know which one I want to go first. Okay, Real Madrid and Ancelotti, they have had some interesting talks regarding the Club World Cup. So Real Madrid, first of all, they have denied any sort of claims that's been out there about their potential refusal to play. They have denied that. They want to play in this expanded Club World Cup next summer. This in an interview with a newspaper in Italy. Carlo Ancelotti, he suggested that Real Madrid would refuse the invitation to play in the 32-team Club World Cup that will be in the United States next summer, not this summer, but the following summer. And then Real Madrid came out with a club statement saying, they said this to themselves, at no time has its participation in the new Club World Cup has been questioned. And Ancelotti actually ended up posting something on social media saying his quotes were not interpreted in the way that he intended. This is whenever he spoke to the newspaper, he said players and the club won't participate in that tournament. Our single Real Madrid game is worth 20 million, and FIFA wants to give us that amount for the entire competition. Negative. Just like us, other clubs will refuse the invitation. He really sure sounds like he's refuting. They're saying Real Madrid are not going to play that. Now, obviously, there's like the Italian-English translation, and sometimes something can get lost in translation. But I don't know, it's interesting. Now, obviously, there's a lot of talk on this Club World Cup, with the players' welfare and all that, and, just too much minutes played by players throughout the season and all that. To top it off with the Club World Cup is a little too much, or a lot too much, but that's another topic for another day. Obviously, I'm just going through some of the major headlines. Pep Guardiola, he has rejected any sort of notion that he has a chance to return to Barcelona anytime at all. He was asked on Monday if he would return, and he said it's a door that is closed. The Barca bench is, and this is what he said, the Barca bench is one of the most complicated because you have to manage many cases. In Manchester, everything we do remains inside, and at Barca, everything comes out. It's a really amazing, some of the things that former Barcelona managers, even Barcelona greats like Guardiola and Xavi Xavi has not came out and said something. I'm sure he'll say something regarding this. You remember the comments he had after he resigned, telling them you'll never allow a manager to come in and stay here. It's amazing the way this Barcelona, it's a hot seat. It's a cooker, and some managers, they just don't want it. Now Hansi Flick, he maybe he has the fact that he's German, not a Spaniard. Maybe that changes it up for him, I guess. But look, it's an interesting situation. Nigeria lose their World Cup qualifier. Ghana and Algeria, they took victories Nigeria were lost to Benin 2-1, and Ghana and Algeria were still able to win, while Egypt drew after they were behind at halftime. As the African Cup qualifier, as the World Cup qualifiers for Africa keep going on the way, the Nigerians, who are the top dogs in Group C, have not won a single match in their opening 4 games and sit on 3 points, while Benin was 7. Now, they were able to lose against a team that was actually managed by Gernard Rohr. And yeah, it's a poor spot that Nigeria finds themselves in, and yeah, it's their World Cup qualifying chances are really on the in danger. Canada has held France to a 0-0 draw in a friendly in France. This is coming off Canada losing to Netherlands 4-0. So good bounce back for Canada, who want to enter the Copa America with some sort of decent form, in the fact that this is Jesse Marsh's first games as the manager of the Canada national team. They start off it doesn't get much easier for them, because they start off, they take on France, who were lost in the World Cup final. Then now in the opening game of the Copa America, they take on the defending World Cup champions in their first major international game since they lost major international World Cup game since they won the last World Cup. So yeah, not the best start for this for Jesse Marsh and this Canada team. Czech midfielder Sadielik, he's gonna miss the Euros. He suffered an injury in the friendly. He was also part of the Euro 2020 match. He has 25 caps for his country, and he's gonna he was the captain and that played Malta and defeated them 7-1. He will not be there. He injured himself while riding on a bike, and he suffered a laceration in the leg, and that's a huge setback for Czech, obviously, because he's an experienced player. He was a captain for a game, and there's a reason why he won the armband against Malta. So bad loss for Czech in a freakish nature, in a freakish way. This is the end of the show today. Wow, went by fast. So yeah, thank y'all guys for tuning into the GSMC Soccer Podcast, presented by the GSMC Sports Network. Your support means a lot to us, so please remember to subscribe to the show and leave a positive review. It really does make a difference. We also invite you to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram for more content and updates. Thank you once again, and have a wonderful, wonderful day.